Hello and welcome to Bespoke Unit. Today we're going to be exploring the best cheap humidor solutions.
Oh,
I don't even supply it, it might be plastic.
Oh no, it's MDF.
It's MDF. You may have just seen in the intro that I actually punched through the bottom of this extremely cheap humidor. This is probably around 20-30 bucks, and we don't really think it's worth the cardboard it was made from, basically. So the point of this video is to kind of really show you guys you know, good value for money options that are still well under $100, even through to our probably best option, which is either going to be the Old Glory quality importers or the tupperdor, which we completely build out with cedar shelves, etc. But yeah, this is
atrocious. I mean, you're probably wondering, oh, what's wrong with it? You can probably see there's a bit of Spanish cedar, a little veneer there.
Line, yeah.
But this is cardboard or MDF. I think it's probably cardboard. And the moisture exchange you're going to get from this, it's not going to retain anything whatsoever. The seal's going to be pathetic.
And this is your humidifier solution. But you know, unfortunately, a lot of you may have got these as gifts and etc. But as I say, the purpose of this video is to really kind of show you, you know, the best value for money cheap humidors.
Exactly.
So after that relatively dramatic, my name is Paul Anthony.
And I'm CP.
And we're both from Bespoke Unit. So we're pretty big cigar aficionados, but we know a lot of you guys like to save your money and spend it actually on the cigars themselves. So this video, we've created some of the best humidor solutions for you on a budget, ones that provide good value for money, unlike the you know, the cardboard humidor I just so easily crushed in my hand. So anyway, Shoal, so I know you put together a lot of this list. I mean, high level, we've got some decent seal travel humidors. We have a specific guide on travel humidors. Although this is not an ideal scenario, this is in the list. But I have some glass Tupperware with clip containers that are in the kitchen here that I could use. Also have this plastic Tupperware container. We have a Bovedor humidor bag, and we also have our #1 value for money humidor that we're also including here in cheap, because we think it offers a great wooden humidor solution if you really want a wooden humidor.
So yeah, I think we'll cover this one quickly first before we move on to really the core of cheap humidors. Yes, this is above 50 bucks, and again, cheap humidor is all relative. This you're looking about between 70 to 80 bucks. There's a link below if you want to buy it. It's a wooden humidor, but it does offer a fantastic seal and great value for money for the price. Paul's got another one which is very similar, same design and everything, but a different skin, which is the Old Glory humidor with a weathered US flag. You've had that for a couple of years. It's
held great humidity, even through seasonal change. It always seems to sit right there at 68-69%. And obviously I know it's sitting at 68-69% because I'm using a calibrated digital hygrometer. There's also a smart hygrometer that actually links into my phone, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later.
Exactly. So a wooden humidor is slightly higher maintenance and will require a little bit more investment in the tools you use to set it up. But then again, if you really want a wooden humidor, this is the one to get if you're on a budget. Otherwise, there are plenty of other cheaper or maybe even better value for money solutions, and the #1 being a tupperdor.
Wow, that's very dramatic. I'm going to start giving you a piano on it. So yeah, I mean, so this tupperdor itself costs, I believe, $12.99 on Amazon, and it's very nice because you can obviously stack them. Here we've actually retrofitted it out completely. So this is like a self-contained humidor. We've got 2 cedar trays, which cost around like 10-12 bucks. With cigars, we've got some Bovedor packs, we've got a Bovedor smart sensor. For even after you spend the money on the Bovedor seasoning packs, this whole kit is probably only like 70 bucks. But we have a specific video we run through step by step on that. Yeah, and obviously you could remove the trays if you wanted to, and all that. But this is
on the bare minimum.
This is an awesome little setup. If you're on a little bit more of a budget or more of a casual smoker, we have these Bovedor humidor bags. This is the large version. I think this comes in again just under 15 bucks.
15 bucks, yeah.
You know, and I know a lot of guys who store boxes in these, and they use these especially to acclimate cigars before they go across into their main collection. So when you buy cigars in store or online, they may not be at the same relative humidity that you say, for example, your cigars are stored in your wooden humidor or tupperdor. So what a lot of guys will do, including both Charles, Philippe and I, is that we'll acclimate our cigars with the Boveda packs at the correct RH that we're looking for. If you're unfamiliar with some of these terms, we have guides below and you can go to bespokeunit.com/cigars. But what we're looking for, that RH or relative humidity, is of the new cigars to match the current storage. So when we put those cigars in, say after 2 weeks of acclimation, we're not shocking the system and spiking too dry or too moist conditions within our humidor itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Boveda bags are very versatile solutions. I use them even when traveling, so I'll pop a box in there, and you know, when I'm traveling, either taking a plane or when I did a road trip across Scotland over summer, I just had a bag in my boot, so I trunk, and I would take the cigars in a regular travel humidor whenever I was nipping out the car and going for a walk or a hike. Travel humidors are also a great budget solution, but there is a caveat, and I would not use these for long-term storage.
No.
Some have mediocre seals, but the Cigar, the cigar caddy, does have a really good seal.
We've got some good seals. So everything's all about sealability, basically.
Really.
Whether you've got a wooden humidor, you're looking at the seal. Here we have 4 nice latches, and inside we also have a nice rubber seal, if you can see it in there. Like here we've got a seal on the edge. I know with some of the Humidors I've had, I've actually, when I've closed it, I can actually look down it and see light through it. But the couple of, again, it might just be a one-off experience, but I've known for the several cigar caddies I've had in the Cigar, well, they've had relatively decent seals, and I've kept, you know, Boveda packs and cigars in there for several months at a time, and the Boveda packs still seem relatively fresh. But yeah, I don't think that's, and these are about $30.
Yeah,
so by the time you look at this, this is $12. And I believe that this is actually a small version. This is featured in our best how to store cigars without a humidor. But in reality, humidors any, you know, kind of microclimate.
Exactly.
But you can buy these. These are Pro Glass on Amazon. And this is actually a small version. It's the only one I kind of had clean in the kitchen right now. But I got 4 like small Robusto size cigars in there, and you can get the ones that are double the size of this, 5 of those for like $25.
Yeah.
So you could store almost a box in the ones that are twice the size of this. And then you've got different environments. And in this one itself, I've actually just got, you know, a Boveda pack in the back as well. I'm not even sure if well, you can see it's the Boveda pack right there. So, and I suppose talking, I mean, that's obviously very small storage, and you have the big guy.
Yeah, so if you want to store a lot of cigars and you don't want to pay thousands of dollars for a cabinet, they're these suckers. Coolidor, which normally is like a cooler that's been converted for cigar storage, but it can also be any hermetic storage container, so it's got to be airtight. And what we really like about these Remingtons, these are your 82 quarts, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a 82 quart.
By Iris USA. So is it Remington?
Yeah, well, it's Iris, and then also this is branded by Remington, so you can get either branded, it's the same thing.
So here you have a foam gasket, which gives you a really good seal. Have you done a water test on these? You know?
Yeah, I've done a water test on these, and they hold, I mean, they're not going to, you fill up with 20 gallons, it's not going to hold that much water, but yeah, just on a simple, I put maybe like half a gallon of water in there and stored it around, and it kept it fine. As opposed to, like I bought 120 quart Coleman coolers, and I did a water test, and it just gushed out, and I actually reached out to their support, and they were like, no, we actually don't make them airtight, specifically in case children get trapped in them. So, I mean, when you're talking about a large cooler, I get it, we've got to have safety in mind, but it doesn't really help our cigars. So, you know, then you're talking about retrofitting with your own gaskets and all that. But like this is definitely, and there are definitely pros to having an insulated wall to prevent temperature spikes. But for me, storing those in my basement, that's good. With all of these solutions, they don't obviously have their own external, you know, cooling element if it gets too hot in the summer. So obviously you want to keep these in a cool, as cool dark place as possible. So I'm lucky here at my home. I have a basement. Charles Philippe has his chimney. Not
a lie, I do actually tuck my cigars out of the chimney because it is a cool and damp place. It's not too damp for it to be disastrous, but because it's not dry, it's not going to have too much moisture exchange or shock.
And you're storing them in like Boveda bags.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's barrier laminated plastic. Nothing gets through that. It's very good.
And this differs from like, as I think that's an important point. Like
it's not
this is specifically, as you say, got barrier laminated. So Ziploc bags or the sandwich bags, they're actually exchange moisture, even if slowly. So this will keep humidity basically locked in there, or that climate controlled environment indefinitely. So you know, I think an important thing to note is that this video is obviously a relatively static resource, and this is what we believe to be the best cheap solutions as of right now. I know Charles Philippe on the website, you update the page regularly.
Yeah, we do. Every time we come across new brands, discover new brands, which is why it would be important if you know of any solutions that you think are better than these or you rely on, leave us a comment below, because we'd be really interested to discover new ones. We're always learning, just like you, so it's part of the adventure and part of the BOTL and SOTL family.
That's brother and sisters of the leaf, if you're unfamiliar as well.
We do have a cigar glossary if you want to learn more about that kind of terminology.
/cigars/glossary, and you should see some of that stuff there. So yeah, I think that's pretty much our rundown of the best cheap humidor solutions. Again, as Charles Philippe says, please comment on this video with anything that you think may be a better solution, or any other comments or questions or video suggestions in the future, as well as like this video if you did like it, and please subscribe and turn on those notifications to the Bespoke Unit YouTube channel, as we're releasing many more how-tos for cigars, cigar reviews themselves, because that's obviously what we're all going down the rabbit hole to get to eventually, to smoke these things, as well as general men's lifestyle content from watches, shoes, travel, whiskey, you name it, we've got it covered here on Bespoke Unit, the guide to the dapper life. With that long mouthful and extra being said, my name's Paul Anthony.
And I'm CP.
And we'll see you next time.
Take care.